guys, welcome back to Clockwork, Jean and Noodles. I have another breakdown for you guys, but before we get going, I need to say I am so sorry. The midway review has been slightly delayed. I am going through a very rough time right now. I'm going to try my hardest and I'm going to have it edited and up for you guys, hopefully at the early part of next week. Hopefully you guys are forgiving enough to forgive me. I apologise. But we have a breakdown for you today and I hope you enjoy it. There is a Discord channel for you guys to give a little like on, get a notification whenever videos go up. That's probably your best way of getting a notification to your phone when I finally do upload the midway review. In the midway review, I am telling you guys my top 3 OPs, EDs, and my current standing for anime, what is currently top 3 in my eyes, what are my thoughts on the current season, because the season's been very interesting, I've got a lot to say, so lots of things to look forward to in that video, and it allows me to talk to everybody on the channel at the same time, instead of having to talk to you guys all via tiny little videos like this. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, it really helps me out massively, it does me the world of good, and it really is very nice to see just the support that people can give me. Let's get going. This is episode 6 of the case study of Vanitas. We're here. I can't wait to get going. There's a few little bits and pieces confused me this episode, but it was a very good episode. I don't have too many notes, but it was a good episode, and I think we are building for a very nice conclusion. My big question, I think, mainly for the entire episode was this first half. I don't quite know how these guys are conversing. They are literally having an active conversation. We've got Vanitas actually saying, this happened, this isn't this. Chloe is actually good, and he does clear Chloe's name, which I really like. But at the same time, I've got to ask, how are these guys having this conversation? What is this place? Because last we checked in, Vanitas and Noe were getting man hugs from Roland, and Roland was buffing up their hairs and freaking out poor Vanitas. Within this realm as well, Vanitas even tells her that he loves her and will make her dream come true. Whatever she wants to happen is going to happen. But I want to know what this space is, because right at the end, the space actually breaks and the vision of him himself, he drags her out into the open. For a bit, they seemingly are together. But then, as the credits finish rolling, we have Vanitas literally slapping the hell out of poor John. He's not with her again. I am massively confused, not sure what it was. At the end of the last episode, I presumed it was more like being trapped within the mind. It followed the flashback, how she felt and the things she had gone through. But now Vanitas is there and he's actually giving her active information that this is what we've learnt. Chloe isn't evil. You don't have to kill her. Very confused at what this space really is. Flashback for Astolfo. Coming from that typical religious upbringing, they're taught at home. I was waiting, because this is Vanitas. I knew it was gonna go to hell very, very quickly. But it's nice to see Astolfo as a child being trusted the vampire, despite the fact that his father told him, you don't trust anybody. If there's a vampire, you come and get one of us. Nature of children and how children are just trusting, and it's a beautiful trait that they can have. They can get on with anybody. As a parent, I've heard a few people say that you want your kid to be nice to people, but you also need to install this idea of boundaries and being careful. Sadly, Astolfo's love hanging out with the child actually comes back horrifically to backstab him, and it's really sad because any other anime, this would have been a nice happy friendship, but this one, it was just waiting for hell to come. At any moment, we knew that hell was just gonna break loose, and it does. It comes back to literally bite everybody. Everybody ends up being slain at the hands of this vampire, and this vampire, essentially, it was a kill or be killed situation, I think, because the vampire boy had lost his parents because of the church. He had actually lost his family to the church, and he decided that he was going to kill these guys in his own revenge. We actually see this circle of revenge, the idea that hate breeding more hate, because later as Astolfo grows up, we see that it's flipped. Astolfo is now the one trying to kill all the vampires. He's trying to get the revenge for what happened, but it sparked off because the event that caused his own revenge was sparked by the same thing, just by a vampire losing their family. But it is quite sad just to see how Astolfo has changed. He's driven to the brink of madness to wipe out the vampires, get his own revenge. It does come from a fair place. He lost everybody that day due to his own trusting. No doubt this boy blames himself. He 100% blames himself for the slaughter of his own family. It's just so sad to see what happened and where it started. It's nice to see that Chloe's plan is the one that is going to be used to save Chloe. And I like it because it was such a clever idea. The idea of giving a non-existent materialist being a body And this is what essentially allows Chloe to come back into being again at the end. But it's nice. It's a nice use of the plan. It was such a nice plan. It's nice to see that it's going to be used to save. Chloe was intending to use this plan to destroy, but we're now using it to save. Astolfo now getting drugged up is now the new kind of scary, because as much as I understand where he's coming from, I also don't want him to put holes in my boys. And it's like, I'm now fearing for Noe. It's also quite nice that Astolfo just chills. He gets drugged up and then he literally chills out and lets everybody help Vanitas for a bit. He lets him power up the machine. And then later he comes in. It's a little plot hole. Drugs himself up and then lets everything happen. And then he comes in later to attack Jean. Chloe and her plan for vengeance was the idea that she knew she was going to die and she was happy to die for her plan. Vanitas recognises the face. He says, I recognise the face of somebody who was proudly going to die alone. I wonder if you're speaking from experience there, but there's a lot of information about him we haven't had yet. The anime this season is focusing on the other characters. As much as our main characters are there, their bond is growing. It's not an anime about them. This part, it's not about Vanna. It's not really about Noe. It's about Chloe, because her story is intrinsically attached to the Charlotte Ruffian. All of these plot lines cross and Chloe is there. But yes, Astolfo took his time. He was just chilling out, doing something, and then he goes and takes out my boy. You guys know that I love Jean. Dante is my second boy next to Evil Ruffian. Ruffian broke my heart. Me and Dante are just forever. But Jean, I love him so much. I'm so sad to see that Astolfo took a hole out of him, though. Not happy about that, but very bad timing, because I think it was a moment where we were actually getting prepped up. Jean was starting to feel inspired by Vanitas. To be fair, he does actually get a good end anyway. He actually makes it to Chloe at the end. But bad timing. Vanitas playing the organ. Absolutely fantastic soundtrack to the fight that we're about to go into. I really like it. I do have to ask, how did he know how to play it? Because if I was sat in front of a keyboard, and I want to play piano, guys, I really want to play the piano. I just can't get one hand to do something separate from the other. I can only play one hand or the other hand. It has to be one or the other. There's no middle ground. I'm just impressed that he knew what to do and how to power it up and how to set the coordinates on this, because I think this was created by Chloe over many years. Him being able to know what to do. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Astolfo's trauma making him a scary, scary opponent to Noe. We see him fighting. He only can see the vampire who took away his whole family. He doesn't see who he's fighting. He doesn't see Noe as Noe. He just sees the vampire and he needs to go after it. And he has fixated so much, it's become his life. It's become what he sees. Very scared for Noe. Making me nervous breathe a little bit. Nervous sweat going on. Let's talk about the final bit, the ship it moment. I totally ship Jean and I totally ship Chloe. These two are such good characters. They're both so misunderstood. Jean is just a bean. I love him. He's amazing. He's caring. He's selfless. He will do anything. He basically sacrificed himself to try and save Chloe. And now she's trying to do the same thing. He even says, like, there's no point you sacrificing yourself because I can't live without you. I love this moment. This moment is so beautiful, just seeing it to happen. Just his words are able to bring her back to a physical form of Chloe. Really hope it's going to end well. Hinting it's going to end well, because Vanitas now has his book back finally after raiding the library. It wasn't even on the floor. Very happy to see Dante again. Whenever Dante's on screen, I get so happy. Ruffian just makes me feel pain. I'm happy to see Jean. He really warms my heart. I love him. But Dante my boy. Very happy. Dante supremacy. Another fantastic episode for the case study. I'm very happy to see that it's been on most of the top 10 charts. It's been hovering around second, third, fourth. Those are the places it's kind of been dotting around. Doing is good, and I'm happy to see other people are enjoying this second part of the season 2. I really hope we're going to get a second season, because I don't think we're going to finish the story in 6 episodes. So I really hope there's a second season announcement at some point, because I want it. I need more. I need to see a good ending. I really want a good ending. I want us to, even if it is us going to an alternate timeline and everything's fixed or something happens, and I want there to be a happy ending for everybody. And Dante, please don't die. Ruffian, I don't like you and you broke my heart, but you're sexy, but I don't want you to die either. Don't die. Join me next week, guys, as we have another breakdown for this anime. At some some point there is going to be a delay on one of the episodes because my birthday is coming up. As much as I love you guys, I have to go somewhere and I'm not going to be around for the Vanitas day itself. That will be delayed, but I will announce the scheduling when we get a bit closer. We've still got a few weeks to think about it. Make sure you're taking care of yourselves, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.